Hi, everybody. This is Cynthia Kane, one of the reference and instruction librarians at Emporia State University. This video is tied to your Composition 1 course to help you as you start preparing for your project involving a career resources essay. Now, with this project, you are going to be asked to select a particular career that you really want to know more about. You might want to know, for example, what the job outlook is for this career, what the education level, educational requirements would be, the salary range, what you could expect to make, and basically the long range potential. Is your career that you are researching going to be around in the next few years, or does it look like it's going to evolve into something else? So this video is going to show you some good online resources that you can use to find more information that you can build into your essay and really build up that research a little bit more. Now you'll notice that I am starting with the library's webpage. And you know that you can get directly to the library's webpage by going to www.emporia.edu/library. And that's where I am right now. If you were to scroll down to the link or the icon that says Research Guides, and if you search by the word career and click on this link, this is going to take you to a research guide that we have created specifically for you to help you find more information about a specific career. You can also find it directly by going to libguides.emporia.edu/careers. And we really encourage you to make use of the resources on this page as you start building your case and building more information for that specific career. So I'm going to spend a little bit of time exploring some options on this page. You'll notice that we also have other tabs here that deal with more specific resources depending upon the background of the career that you are researching, such as medicine, nursing, and allied health, education, mental health, and so forth. And you may want to spend a little bit of time exploring the resources that are on those tabs as well. The first one I wanted to show you is something that you could take just for your own benefit. It's kind of fun to do. It is a career exploration tool that's called the ONET Interest Profiler. And there's a little YouTube video down here that shows you how it works. If I were to click on ONET Interest Profiler, this is a quick quiz that you can do that lets you rate different interests that you have. And the interests that are on here, you can rate them all the way from I would never want to do anything like this to I would love doing something like this. So it's a really good way of seeing where your interests actually lie and then being able to match that maybe to different careers or occupations that would go along with those interests. Essentially, you just click on Next, and this is where you have a guide here on how you would rate the different interests. There are 60 questions about work activities that people do on their jobs. And you can read each question carefully and decide how you would feel about doing each type of work, all the way from strongly dislike to strongly like. And this will give you just a little bit more information. You don't want to think about the education or the training or how much money you would make. Just think about if you would like or dislike doing the work. And there are no right or wrong answers. It depends on just what you are interested in. And then this is where you could begin taking the test. Once you finish the test, you do have an opportunity to look at different careers or occupations that match your interests, and you can also download and save your results if you would ever want to send those to your instructor for any extra credit that they might be offering, or just to save for your own benefit. So again, that's just something that's kind of fun to do. So I'm going to show you some government resources that you can start with to start finding more information about the career that you're going to be researching. And one of my favorite ones is under here, under government sources, the Occupational Outlook Handbook. And you might have used this in high school or maybe in other classes. This is a federal government source. It's from the United States Bureau of Labor Statistics. And what I really like about this is that it's very easy to search, and it gives a wealth of information that have been gathered from statistical sources on, again, the job outlook for a specific career, the salary range, the educational level, basically everything that you would need to know. So this is a very good start for your career resources essay. You can scroll by occupation groups. So if there's anything here that catches your attention and relates to the career that you're interested in, you can click on any of these categories. There's a featured occupation right now on general maintenance and repair workers, or you can go up to this search bar here and you can search for a more specific career. Now I'm going to give you a heads up. Sometimes the way that we type in the keyword for a career may not actually match the way that it appears in the Occupational Outlook Handbook. So you might have to have more than one way of describing your career. I'm going to do some exploring over here with the occupation groups. Let's go into community and social service. And under these occupations, you see that I can choose from health educators and community health workers, marriage and family therapists, rehabilitation counselors, school and career counselors. So that kind of gives me some ideas. I'm going to click on rehabilitation counselors because that might be a career that I would be interested in exploring. So the next part on the Occupational Outlook Handbook is going to give you a lot of background that you're going to need for your career resources essay. So here's a quick summary on how much one could expect to make, the typical entry-level education, in this case it is a master's degree, and it looks like the job outlook for the next few years is going to rise probably about 10% per year. So it's rising faster than average. That means that it has a really great potential of being around in the next few years. And you can either click on these links or these tabs up here to find out a little bit more about what they do, what the work environment would be, how to become one, the pay and the job outlook, and also some state and area data. So you can find out a little bit more. We won't give any feedback right now. You can find out a little bit more about what the outlook might be for your specific state for your career. Now you can print out or save any of these sections at any point on your computer. And if you scroll down to the bottom of any of these links, you're going to see a suggested citation for this article from the Occupational Outlook Handbook. Now, I'm going to give you a heads up. This is not MLA format. So what you would want to do is check with any resources that your instructor has provided to see what elements you might have to change or correct. But you could certainly copy and paste this citation and then correct it to make it fit into correct and appropriate MLA style. So I definitely would start with the Occupational Outlook Handbook. I think you'll be able to find a lot of information there. We'll go back to our guide. ONET Online is another source of information. And this is also from the United States government. It's going to be a little bit different. You can browse occupations just like we did with the Occupational Outlook Handbook, or you can do a quick search. We can go on Browse here. And ONET Online is a little bit different. If I'm still trying to figure out a career that I want to research for my career resources essay, I could look under this category for Bright Outlook. And the Bright Outlook simply will tell me what occupations are expected to grow rapidly in the next several years or would have a large number of job openings. And it looks like there are quite a few that are expected to have numerous job openings or rapid growth or both. So this is a good place to browse if you're still trying to figure out a specific career that you would want to do. Now remember, I was doing rehabilitation counselors in the Occupational Outlook Handbook. So I could keep scrolling down here and I could see rehabilitation counselors is listed here, and it looks like, again, there's rapid growth. And some of the information that will be in ONET online will be similar to Occupational Outlook Handbook. However, there are a few differences. This is telling me a little bit more about the tasks for the job, the technology skills that would be appropriate for a specific job, the knowledge and the skills, the abilities that I should have for this specific occupation, and the work context. I kind of like this too because this shows what would be expected. So it looks like I'd have contact with others, face-to-face discussions. I'd be working with a group or a team, and that might be really important in terms of the occupation that I'm choosing. So you're going to get this type of detailed information for any occupation that you look at with ONET online. And again, you can see that there's a lot of different information here, plus sources of additional information. Often what will happen with ONET Online is that they'll give you links to different websites for different associations or organizations that might be related to your profession. Those would be good to look at as well for more specific information about your occupation, if they exist. We'll go back to the guide. And again, there are a lot of different ones that you can take a look at as well. Career One Stop is another possibility. And this one will let me explore careers, but it will also let me do things like do a self-assessment similar to that ONET interest profiler. So I can figure out what my interests might be and my skills, work values that I have, and how that might match to an occupation. I can also go again to career profiles. And if I went to an occupation profile, I could search again. I can do a list of occupations, or I could search for rehabilitation counselors. Notice that came up. I'm not limiting by a specific location. And again, here's a profile that I can use in conjunction with the other things that I found on ONET Online and the Occupational Outlook Handbook. There's potential employment, projected employment. How much education do I need? If I needed an occupational license to work in this career, I could look here to find license details for my state. What could I anticipate in terms of activities and skills and abilities? We'll go back here to home. So there are a lot of different resources that are on this guide that will really help you find more information about your career. The last one I'm going to show you is Ferguson's Career Guidance Center. And this one is a relatively new one that we have. And again, I could do an advanced search, or I could browse with popular careers or popular industries. I could browse all industries and careers if I'm still trying to think of one for this essay. Or I could type in rehabilitation counselor. And I can go directly to that description from Ferguson's Career Guidance Center. And this is going to tell me a little bit more. I do encourage you to use all these different sources because it's a really good idea to compare and contrast the data that you're getting from these different sources to see if they're similar or if there are any differences that you would want to account for in your essay. Now, Ferguson's Career Guidance Center does offer a citation tool. So if I click on that, it went directly to an MLA style, and I could copy that in MLA style and put that into my works cited page or into a working bibliography. Now I'm still going to have to reformat it for proper spacing and maybe any other corrections, but that can help because at least I do have the citation tool that will generate that citation for me. I'm going to go back to University Libraries and Archives one more time. Now, as you know, for the rest of the semester, your class is online. So if you have any questions about how to do any type of research, we've given you information here at the library's webpage. You can call us at 620-341-5205. You can email us at libcirc@emporia.edu. We are actually staffing a virtual reference desk from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Central Standard Time every day. That does include Saturdays and Sundays. So anytime between 10 a.m. and 10 p.m., you can also click on this link for Zoom, and a librarian will be on that Zoom link to help you and to share any screens back and forth if you have any questions about any research. And again, I'm Cynthia Kane. You could reach me at ckane1@emporia.edu if you have any questions. And good luck with this essay. I hope you do a really great job with it.